Hi, everyone. This is Jay Rosenzweig, founder and CEO of birthparentfinder.com. And I'm here today with Dawn and Michaela. I don't know if you remember, but Dawn and Michaela were with us 2 years ago. We introduced Dawn to her other daughter that was a twin, the twin of Michaela, that was placed for adoption in 2001. And we're here 2 years later, and we want to go over what's been happening over the past couple years with Dawn and Michaela and things moving forward. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good.
I see you have a nice little doggy there with you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So let's start with Dawn. Dawn, over the past 2 years, this story was told. We showed it on our social media back in the summer of 2001. Basically, what happened with you giving birth, placing your other daughter for adoption, and the circumstances involved. And we told the truth about what happened, correct?
Correct.
And we know that you're not in contact with your daughter anymore. And has there been any attempt made by you or her to reach out to each other?
Well, I attempted to after about February 2021, a few months after we met, and I got nowhere. In fact, I tried a couple times. Asked her if she was just open to talking to me. Um, let her decide, and she said no, she had no interest in that.
Why do you suppose that happened?
Well, I wish I knew. Um, I know she was from wherever she got the information. She had a lot of ideas about me that were incorrect, that I lied about a lot of things which I didn't and have proof of, and just will not even listen to the truth.
And do you think her family has anything to do with that?
I do. Yep.
And we know what the truth is, and we know that those facts have been given to her, and they're undisputable.
Correct. I mean, I live the truth. There's record of everything. I'm the only one who lived it, me and my husband. So,
Right, and we basically relived it through that little series that we did 2 years ago.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And obviously, we spoke to the doctor, we spoke to other people, and got all the information. And it's still, I mean, there's nothing convincing her that you didn't lie.
No, I don't understand it. She's just hurting herself.
So I know with adoptees who are placed for adoption, sometimes they feel that they were unwanted. And you heard that through the therapist that we worked with on this case.
Right.
And at no time ever was she unwanted. Is that correct?
Never. Never. I would have done anything I could have at that time to keep both of them. That was never the situation.
And her adopted parents knew the situation and obviously did their best to make a better life for her. Is that right?
And it looks that way.
Yeah.
And going back with what we talked about in the past, if you would have kept both children, and I know, Michaela, your life would be very different than it turned out.
Oh, yeah. I would not be sitting here today with the animals that I have, the job that I have. I don't think I would have any of it if
And the
she
same
made a
thing for your
different choice
sister,
that
right?
time. What was that?
The same thing for her, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And segueing into what I'm going to ask you next, Michaela, what kind of work do you do?
I'm a dog groomer.
And what kind of work does your sister do?
Apparently, she's a dog groomer.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, you're both, I think you live
Yeah.
about an hour and a half from each other. You're both
About.
in the exact same field.
Yeah. I don't think we work for the same company, but yeah, same field.
How does that make you feel?
A little bit weird. I mean, I figured as much as I'm around animals and as much as I like them that, yeah, probably she would go into something like that too. But I didn't figure it'd be the same thing.
So your upbringing was very similar.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for hers entirely, but yeah.
Well, I'm going back to you being around horses,
Yeah.
you being a champion rider, and I don't know if she's
Yep.
a champion rider, but very much into animals, very much into horses, very much into dogs.
Yep.
And now both of you are dog groomers, and that's what you want your profession to be. I don't know what her future holds. I don't talk to her, but I know that you haven't been in contact with her since February of 2021,
Nope.
when you both turned 21. And is there anything that could change that, you think?
Her admitting to herself that she's wrong. Her and her friends who think they know the truth were not really around enough to know. Just like how I discovered everything, being older now. Back then, when I was just born, obviously I couldn't have known anything. I was just a little baby. And her friends, the same age that she is, couldn't have known either. That's all just speculation and hopping on a bandwagon of they're young and they think they're right. No, you got to pay attention to the information that's being given to you. And if she wants to say that you're wrong, go and do research on it. Find out what happened for yourself.
Prove it.
Prove
So
it.
you don't think the research that we provided her with this series that we did was sufficient enough?
Not to her, apparently.
So
I
she
mean,
may
to
think
me,
it's biased.
it was plenty. That was all I needed. But for her, I don't know what would convince her.
And you told me before that you went through a struggle period after February of 2021, after your
Yeah.
birthday. You want to quickly talk about that?
I, as much as I don't like admitting it, I job hopped a little bit. I was not in a good state of mind whatsoever. I was really struggling through my day-to-day life and trying to find a reason again, because the sibling has always been one of the things I wanted. I mean, it's funny, this obviously isn't an everyday situation where your parents don't hop out of the woodwork at 19 years old and go, hey, I have a sister now. So it's not like that can happen. But I was really excited and relieved to find out that had happened for me, and then to have it all ripped away after I had tried my best really, really hurt.
And like I always tell you guys, this is not over. This is far from over. I truly believe that this will come to a very happy ending, or new beginning, and sometimes we have to understand what people did and forgive them. And in this case, Dawn, it's really not about forgiving, is it? It's about doing the right thing.
That's what we tried to do. That's all we tried to do, was the best thing for both of them. And it was never a question of not wanting her, or I never even saw them when they were first born. When the doctor asked me which one, that was not planned. I never saw them. That had nothing to do with it.
And I don't know if this needs to be said, but for some people out there, it probably will. It's not like she looked at one of us and went, you're prettier, you've got a better personality, I like you more. They're babies. They're tiny little, lumpy little babies. I mean, that's not, they don't have anything about them for a while till they grow up and become kids and their own people with their own mind.
So, Michaela, let's turn the table a little bit. Let's say you were the one that was placed for adoption.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in that situation. How do you believe you would have handled that?
I'm not sure how I would have. Obviously, I wasn't put in that situation, but having experienced the kindness that my mother and father have shown towards her, I would have at least given them a chance or tried to find the truth out for myself if I didn't believe them.
And in the short period that they were reunited. I think that was probably less than a month, if I'm not mistaken. Um, was there anything that you guys did wrong?
I probably had a little bit of attitude around my birthday, given what she said to me, but I don't regret having my attitude about it.
And let's rehash what she said to you. I know we documented that, but what was that?
Yeah. So around our birthdays, it's February, it's cold, the weather's pretty unpredictable, especially being in northern Indiana. So it kind of varies year to year what it's if the roads are going to be iced over with an inch of ice or if it's going to be nice and bright and sunny out. But that year it was not bad. The back roads probably couldn't get through much, but we had a four-wheel drive truck, so we could pretty much go anywhere. And I said, "Hey, do you still want to come over for our birthday?" You know, my mom got us a custom-made cake and everything, exchange presents and all that. And it ultimately boiled down to her saying, "Don't waste the gas to come pick me up."
And
What?
then that led to the email or the text exchange between Dawn and her regarding how she felt, I believe. Is that right,
Right.
Dawn?
That's right.
And then everything else fell apart after that. And then I came to see you guys May of 2021, and we documented everything that weekend.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So Dawn, getting back to what you want to be done, what in a perfect world, what would you like to see? What would you like to say to your daughter?
I would like to say that I wish she would find out the truth for herself. She's been given enough information and the tools necessary to do that and make up her own mind, that we've given proof of everything, that somebody can't relay the intimate details of your life when they don't even know you. We lived it. So we're really the only ones, and everything else is documented. Make up your own mind. And I think that she's really doing a bad thing to herself by missing out on a lot of great things that could happen with her sister. And you know, why do that to yourself? Why rob yourself of that when something good could come of it?
Yeah.
Right, and it's never too late. And Michaela, if she came to you and said, I want a relationship with you guys. I'm there's a misunderstanding. This is a perfect world, of course, that I want a do-over. Is that a possibility?
A possibility. Yeah.
Like you said, she would owe you an apology, but it would have to be a big one, obviously.
And a heartfelt one. And not because she wants something, I would need it to be a necessary apology.
And you see these things happen in some of our other cases when families get bigger. Obviously, at some point, you may get married. At some point, she may get married. It's an empty feeling without one of you at the wedding or a family event moving forward. And I still have hope that that's going to happen. I don't think you're going to live the rest of your life without your sister. I truly believe that. I think in the goodness of everything, I think it'll work out. I like I said, I truly believe that. And there's another question I have for Dawn. There's all the naysayers out there that said, how can you give up one child, especially a twin, and separate them for all those years? What did you ever consider just placing both of them for adoption?
No. No.
I know I asked you that before, and that's because you always wanted a child, and for some reason, you were pregnant with twins.
Yep. No, that was never going to happen.
Right. And if that did happen, you would go through your life right now at this stage of your life with no kids, correct?
Correct.
And in your mind, obviously, look how happy you are. This worked out for you.
Having one, you mean?
Your life with Michaela and your husband.
Yes. Yes.
And I can tell, spending that weekend with you guys, knowing you guys for almost 2 years now, I can tell that you're a wonderful family, that you mean well, you mean no harm. And I'm just hoping that she'll come around. And let's end this by asking Michaela heartfully, what do you want to say to her? If she's watching this right now, nicely, what do you want to say to her?
You have always been wanted. That was never the question. Even by me, the day I found out about you, all I wanted to do was just know everything about you. I've never wanted to push you away. I've always wanted that relationship. I've wanted to foster it and just have it be there. So having to set my own boundary to protect myself hurt me too.
And I know you're going on 22.
Yep.
A couple months, and you're still young, and someday you'll probably get married. Wouldn't it be nice if she was at your wedding?
Yeah, it would be.
Wouldn't that be nice, Dawn?
It would be.
And that's something we can work on. And I want to wish you guys happy holidays. Thank you for doing this. I know it's 2 years later, and I know this is a little sad moment, but in the big picture, it's all going to be wonderful. I truly believe that. And again, thanks for being on with me today.
Thank you too.